Hello and welcome to this video. It's Isaac Adebi here from Addis Academy, and in this video I'm going to be walking you through how to balance yourself as a student in school and also as an entrepreneur. So you are a student and you are in school, you are studying a particular course, but you're also an entrepreneur. How do you balance both of them together? Because this is something that a lot of persons have issues with. They don't know how to work around developing your skill, how to work around working on your business in school and still going to classes, still getting good grades. So I was just looking at some of the things that you can pay attention to that is going to make it very smooth for you. But then before we go into this, let's just look at the difference between school and entrepreneurship, or let's say between school and skill. Now when you talk about school, you're talking about you learning let's just say Western education. So you're going to school to actually get education on some specific things. So let's say you are going to school to study economics, you're learning that particular course, right? And then don't talk about entrepreneurship. We're talking about something around you learning something that really helps you as a person. So you're learning a course to study the course so that you can use the course to do something. But when you're talking about entrepreneurship, we're talking about skill education. You're talking about you developing your own self, like you're learning something that can give you financial security. So that's just the basic difference in both of them. Now both actually very important, because if you say school is not important, then what I'm going to say about those that study banking, finance, that study medical science, you get these people actually use these things to do something that's very important in life. So school is quite important, and getting a skill or being an entrepreneur so is very important. Then how do we bring both together? Because you don't want to let your school education affect you as an entrepreneur. You also don't want to let your entrepreneurship life or your business also affect you in school. Then how do we go about bringing a balance to them? Now the very first thing that you need to understand is, what is your motive for going to school and what is your motive for being an entrepreneur? Now you are going to school, there is definitely a reason for you going to school. Now if you are a medical student, you saw now to become a medical doctor, then you are going to school because you want to learn this particular thing so you can become a medical doctor. But then if you are just somebody that's just going to school because of every other person is going to school, or you're just going to school because of that's the normal thing, everybody should go to school and just get a certificate. If that's the reason you're going to school, then you want to check that reason properly. Now you want to first of all identify the motive. What's the strong reason you need to be in school? Is school so important to you right now? Are you seeing it as something that is very important to your entire life? You get, so you want to first of all understand the motive for going to school. And then the second thing is, what is your motive for being an entrepreneur? Or what is your motive for learning a skill? What is your motive for starting a business? Now you need to bring both why together so you can find a balance between them. Now let's say, for example, I'm going to use myself as an example. So I'm going to school just because of I need to go to school. That's the basic reason I'm going to school, because even the course I'm studying is not something that I really want to study, right? Why? The reason the reason I decided to be an entrepreneur is because I feel I know that this is what I should be. I should be here to help other persons to navigate their life. So that this is like this is like my passion, right? And this is something that is going to make me a lot of money and can make me financially secure. Now that's the reason I'm going for this particular one, and this is the reason I'm going for this particular one. So naturally I would find a way to balance both, because according to economics, scale of preference, what is most important would always come first than the other one. Now but if you don't have a strong why, if you don't have a strong reason for both things, you would not know how to arrange them. That's why you feel like, oh, I'm in school, like I'm spending so many hours in school and I don't even have anything to spend on my business or my entrepreneurship life. So you want to first of all understand, why are you going for each of them? When you get the why you're going for school and the why you're going for this other one, you know how to arrange them. You get, although I'll still be giving you some tips on how to go about this, but then this is just like the first part of it. You need to get the motive strongly. When you get the motive, you would just know how to balance them. For example, sometimes I'm in class and let's say the lecturer is teaching something that I can't even understand, or I don't even feel like learning at that particular moment. I just bring out my phone and then I start running my business on my phone, so that I can just put my earphone in my head, because now I understand, okay, I'm in school for this business, and then what they're teaching me here, I don't even like, I'm not vibing with it at all. Why do I need to waste my time when I know that I have something very, very much more important to do in my business? So that time that I'm just in school like every other person, just at the back of the class, and I'm not even listening, I'm just wasting my time, I spend that time to do something much more important. Why? Because I have a strong reason I'm going for business. I have a strong reason I want to be an entrepreneur. You get? So you want to first of all get the reason, the motive, you want to get them right. All right, star, you need to actually know this now. See, you're going to school to learn, and as an entrepreneur also, you're also learning. Now, you're learning a course in school, and you are also learning a skill after school. Now both is learning. Now you don't want to just, you don't want to see them as two different things, because that's how a lot of persons see it. When if you are trying to balance school and entrepreneurship together, then you start seeing them as two different things. You need to understand that you are one person, it's just one life you have, and that one person you are, you can bring everything together. So okay, I just finished learning economics in school right now, and then I come back home, and then I just start learning graphic design, or I just start learning copywriting, because what I want to do is I'm learning, like no knowledge is wasted. I just learned economics in school. I learned basic, I learned business administration in school, just like after class just now. I just continue learning, because it's just me. It's just one person that is learning stuff. So I don't see it as two different things. You get? So I'm in a class, and then let's say I have a class from 8 to 10, and the next class I'm having is like 12 to 1 or 12 to 2. Between that free period I have, I can use that time to learn something else, because by 12 to 2 I'm going to also learn. Why can't I just learn it now, like I said, I had a class? So I just take out my phone, and then I watch a couple of videos on graphic design and learn and practice. You get? So it's just, see it as you're just learning. Bring them together, like it's just you, one person that is trying to learn several things together. Just where you have different courses in class, your skill is also one of those courses that you just ship in and you learn. If it's also a business, also you just slot it in. So you want to look for a way to bring them together. You're not seeing them as two different things. You're seeing them as, this is Isaac, just one person, and this guy is trying to learn every of these things. You get? So you just bring them into each other, right? So that's actually the thing about it. So it also applies to you also as a business person. So the business that you, I'm coming please. Now you are a student in school, and then you're also running a business. What you need to do now is to focus, like I said before, you need to first forget the motive for the business. You need to understand, why do you need that business? Why do you need to go for that business? Now there was this one of my classmates in school. She sells something in school, and she always bring that into school every time. So she's selling, I think, chin chin or some snacks, and she brings it to school. Now she's not trying to balance the business and school together. She's bringing the business to school. So she brings the business to school, and she sells in the class physically, like when the lecturer is not around, or before the lecturer comes, she just starts selling in the class. So she's not trying to balance business and entrepreneurship. She's bringing the business into the school and doing the both of them at the same time, because it's just one person. You are not two, you're just one person. So you bring both together. So you're running a business in school or out of school. You don't try to, oh, let me finish school and then start this one. No, you're not balancing them. You're bringing them together, because it is one thing. It is just one person that is trying to learn what they're teaching him in school, and also creating a business. You get? So don't try to see it as two persons, see it as one person. So let's go into some of the tactics, some of the strategies that has helped me as a student in university, and also as a business person. Now the very first thing, which is number one, is schedule your time. Now I used to say this every time. I don't need to say so much. I used to like think about it every time. Now God gave us 24 hours, and I believe that God knows that 24 hours is enough for us. If it's not enough, He would not have given us 24 hours. Now you just need to identify how you spend your 24 hours. Most times we always think that the time we are spending, we always think that we don't have enough time in a day. Whereas if you check it so very well, you realize that you have so much time in a day, but you are wasting them. You need to first of all identify the timetable for your school. So you know, okay, this is how my school is. This is how I go to class. I go to class from 7 to 9. That's my first class. Then probably 10 to 12. Then probably 2 to 12 to 2. So this is the time I spend in school. Now you now want to draft out your own timetable out of the school timetable. Now before I go into that, let me first of all tell you this story I had from Pastor Sam Adeyemi. He said that the way the rich people think is this: if a rich man is traveling to the mainland from the island, and he needs to go somewhere very, very important, and he also have to do something that's going to cost him like 3 hours in that day. What the rich man does is this: a factor, there's always very, very heavy traffic from the mainland to the island, so he believes he'll spend like 3 hours inside the traffic. Now what he does is this: you don't try to just waste that 4 hour into the traffic. He factors his time into that 4 hours. So 4 hours of his 24 hours, he spends it into traffic. Now he has 21 hours left. He arranged the 21 hours to fit his day. So instead of him spending 6 hours on something, he would remove 1 hour from it, add it to the 1 hour he would have spent on inside the traffic. By doing that, he's going to arrange his remaining hours of the day with the 4 hours he knows he's going to spend into the traffic. So you have 24 hours every day. Now school is going to be taking 10 hours out of the time. I don't believe that, because I don't think you should spend more than even 8 hours in school. Now 10 hours, let's just say 10 hours, then you have 14 hours left. The remaining 14 hours, you just schedule your time to fit into that 14 hours. So school is taking 10 hours constant. You know that. Then the remaining 14 hours, you balance, you find a way to arrange your day into that 14 hours. So you want to be more disciplined with this one, because most times we used to think that there is no time for us, but the time we waste on WhatsApp, the time we waste on TikTok, the time we waste on gossiping, the time we waste on trekking, the time we waste on just sightseeing, or just looking, just doing things that are not necessary. If you calculate those time, you realize that you are wasting so many time. Some persons, the moment they wake up and the moment they take their bags and go to school, they've wasted like 2 hours doing nothing, just standing from the bed, just running up and down, just doing things that are not even necessary. If you check those time, you see that you're wasting so many times on things that are not even important. Like you have a class by 12 and then the next class is by 2. Between that 12 and 2, you just sat down doing nothing, and then you are saying, oh, there's no time. That 2 hours, you could use it to do something much more important. So you want to arrange the time that you spend in school and then create your own out of it. So you want to be much more disciplined when you are doing this. Now the second thing is this: leverage on your night time. Leverage on your night time. Now it's normal for this, actually, in the day that the school takes more of your time, you spend like more of your day in school. So you want to leverage more on your night time. Now it's good to sleep, there's no doubt, but if you're a student like me, that means you are still very vibrant, you are still very strong. You can start with just 1 hour of your night time every night. So just 11 to 12 every night, or 12 to 1 every night, not more than 1 hour, and you can just start using that 1 hour easy to do very serious work. If you spend 1 hour every day on just your business or your skill or learning something or yourself, it's going to amount to something at the end of the week. And as you progress, you can spend much more time. You get? So leverage on your night time. Your day is fast spent, you've wasted on so many things. Spend your night doing something much more productive, or wake up early in the morning. Like I used to wake up 3 o'clock, I wake up 4, wake up 5, wake up as early as possible. So by then you can do so many things before it is time for school. You get? So this is another thing you can do. Number one, you schedule your time to fit into the school time, and then number 2, leverage on your night time, and then number 3, craft your timetable. So you craft your own timetables. Now you craft out your timetable. This is what a lot of persons don't do. Or you write out your task for the day. So the school has its own timetable and you can't bend it. Also have your own timetable. So okay, this is where the school is starting. School timetable is starting from 7 to this thing. Start your own timetable before the school and after the school. So craft out your timetables. Okay, from 5 to 6 I'm going to do this. From 6 to 7 I'm going to do this. 7 I'm going to school. Then 4 I'll come back from school. From 5 to this I'm going to do this. So you arrange your timetable. You get? You schedule out your own timetable for yourself or for your business. You get? That's very important. And then the next thing I would say is this: start classes. Now this might sound like, oh, this guy is telling me not to go to school. Now there are some classes that are not important. There are some classes that you know that you should not go. You get? Stop them. Just stop them. You get? It's very important. Although this depends on your why. It depends on your motive, right? So if you are going to school because you really want to go to school, then you might not want to. But if you are going to school, if the why you are doing your business seems much more important than the why you're going to school, then there are some classes you can start. When I say start, I mean don't go to the classes. You can attend the test, attend these things, but you start classes. I mean, you're going to class this week, you can start, next week I'm not going to go. I'm going to spend the time doing something much more important. You get? And then the next thing I would say is, in between classes that are not important, like let's say you're in a class and they're teaching something and you know that you are not getting any value from that class, leave the class, or in the class, just plug in your earphone and just continue doing your work. I do this a lot of times. There are some classes that I don't just understand, or I don't just relate. I don't even get what they're saying, or I can't even hear what they're saying. I just sit down somewhere and then I just start working on my designs, or working on content. You get? So you can do this same thing. It helps you a lot. It helps you save a lot of time, because you don't want to waste time. You know, sometimes the reason you get back from school and you're very, very tired is because you just ended up doing something that is not even productive. Like, you're in the class and the class is very, very boring. You are not even getting anything, and you're just there, and you're thinking about the time you are wasting. You're thinking about what you're supposed to have been doing. You get? So instead of you thinking all of this, just start doing those things and forget the fact that you're inside that particular class. So this is going to really, really help you, right? I believe you're actually getting value from this particular thing. And then the next thing I would say is, I'll just round up. You see, the goal of going to school for almost every other person, almost everybody, is to make money. You're going to school because you want to get something that's going to make you money, that's going to get you a job that you can make money. And also, the goal of you being an entrepreneur is because you want to also make money, or the goal of you having a business because you also want to make money. So you don't want to allow one affect the other. You want to find a balance between both of them. The same thing applies. You also have a side hustle. Like, you have a side hustle and you want to use the side hustle to fund your schooling, then you should find a way of balance. I think the problem with a lot of persons is they are not disciplined. They are not disciplined. So you want to imbibe that discipline into yourself. So you want to check out your time properly, because you actually have a lot of time in the day, but you don't know. So you want to check out this time, and you want to put in your business into this particular time. And I believe this has actually helped you. If you have any question to ask, you can just drop a question in the comment section. I'm going to attend to every one of them. You can listen to this audio multiple times. I've said several things. I've said several strategies. You might not even need all of the strategies I said here. You might just take one of them or just two of them and implement them. You get, and you definitely get results. All right. So thank you very much for listening. I'm sure you gain some from this particular video, and then I would see you next Friday.